Hi, I'm Joel Peterson. I'm the winemaker and founder of Ravenswood Winery. And I'm wearing my buffalo felt hat that I got at the Calgary Stampede, where we served a lot of wine and had a lot of really wonderful people drinking the 07s. And that's what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the 07 Vineyard Designated Zinfandels. And we'll actually throw Pickberry in there as well, which is a Meritage blend. So terrific vintage, really lovely, lovely vintage. It's a vintage that probably produced some of the prettiest grapes that I've ever seen come into the winery. There was almost no mold, no rot. Every cluster was perfectly formed. Believe it or not, that doesn't happen. We like to tell you that we have perfect grapes every year, but we don't. We're lying. But this year, I'm not. This year, it's a fantastic year. It was a vintage that started out a little bit cool, perhaps a little bit late, although not very late. And it stayed relatively cool until sort of through the spring. We got a pretty good set. Crop level was not large. It was kind of a moderate to lower crop level, generally speaking. It was a vintage that began to warm up, but it never got too hot. Sometimes vintages go spiky cold, spiky cold. Oh, the vines hate it. They're not happy. But this was like putting the vines in the perfect environment. They just kind of ripened and grew and grew and ripened and ripened. And when the grapes were supposed to turn purple, they turned purple. When they were supposed to be getting soft, they got soft. When they were supposed to hang for longer, they hung for longer. And as a consequence, we got these really complex, very elegant, and I don't mean elegant wimpy, I mean elegant with guts and spice and vines that produced a flavor of where they came from. And if you know Ravenswood Single Vineyards, you know that that's really what we're all about here. We're really all about trying to produce wines that come from a place and taste like the place that they come from. So we make them all exactly the same way. Essentially, open-top fermenters, punched down by hand, native yeast fermentations, none of that nasty American oak, only good French oak at about the 40% level or so. Looking for medium toast, so we get some of the sweetness from that oak to help balance out the structural components of the Zinfandel. And we age them in barrel for 16 months or so. Sometimes a little bit longer than that, sometimes a little less long. Hey, winemaker gets some prerogative after all. And this particular vintage, went into the barrel tasting really yummy. And it came out of the barrel tasting even better than that, if you could imagine it. So I am very, very pleased with the 07 vintages. They're wines that have great finesse, wonderful structure, terrific flavors. They really, really linger. They're going to be wines that age for a long time. My single vineyard designated Zinfandels last for a significant amount of time. I had the pleasure to sit down with a group of wine drinkers who brought the wines a year ago or so, and they tasted only wines from the 1982 to the 1992 vintage, and every single one of them was good. So if you're worried about these wines going over the hill, don't. And in fact, if you're over 50, they'll probably outlive you. I'm looking forward to you drinking them after I'm long gone, and I plan to live until I'm 80, so think about that for a while. So these are terrific wines, and to prove they're terrific, I'm going to sit right here in front of you, and we're going to taste some of them. And maybe, if you're really lucky, you've got a bottle you can taste with me. If not, you'll just have to live vicariously, my friends. So let's go to it.